Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope you are having a great weekend so far. And it's Saturday again, so I'm back again with another episode of the Author Collaborative. And this time I am going live with a fellow author who is. Hello, curly hair Peter. Thank you for joining. So, I hope your Saturday is going well and you are having a great weekend so far. In today's episode of Author Collaborative, I am going live with a fellow author, or rather a poet, whose book I have read, which is titled "Love Beyond Love," and it's a very strong feminist poetry collection, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. She's going to be joining us soon, and I will be asking her questions. Hello, Azim. Thank you for joining. Good evening. I will be asking her questions about her book. She'll be asking me some questions about my book, and a whole lot of fun Q&A session is going to happen. Let's wait for a few more people to join us. In fact, let's wait for the guest to come and join the live so I can invite her to the live. Hello, Muggle Books. Thank you. Thank you all. Makeup by Purvi, thank you for joining. Good evening to all of you. I hope you are having a great Saturday. Okay, she is here, so I'm just going to invite her now. Dr. J. Vijay Lakshmi is here. Hello, Sakshi. Thank you for joining. Good evening. Hey, hi, Vijay Lakshmi. Thank you. Good evening. Finally, we are having this live. We've been discussing it for a month,
Yeah,
I think, right? When to do, when to do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, how is your Saturday
Yeah,
going?
yeah, it's fine and great. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm very
So,
excited
how
to
is your
talk to
Saturday?
you.
How
Sorry,
is your Saturday? And how is
sorry.
your Saturday?
My Saturday is still a lot of it is still left. Unlike in India, it's still just 4:30 here in the Netherlands. So I still
Yeah,
have a lot
yeah.
of Saturday left.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I was telling the audience about your book, Love Beyond Love, which I recently read, and it's a very
Yeah,
strong feminist poetry collection. So
yeah,
this is one of the reasons, it first got my attention, and then also why I
yeah,
enjoyed reading it, because
yeah,
feminism, I believe, is something in the recent time which has, got a lot of attention. A lot of it has, lot of things have been said about it, written about it, and I believe everyone has their own idea about the concept of feminism. So,
yeah.
first of all,
Okay.
congratulations on the book. And let me
Yeah.
just leave the floor open to you so that you can introduce yourself to the viewers.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Dr. Vijay Lakshmi. I am an assistant professor at Marwadi University, Rajkot, and I'm also an author of 5 books, starting from a novel that is Quest for God to my latest book that is Love Beyond. So, the most important question which runs throughout the book is the concept of who am I? And what is your role as a social or a spiritual being.
Okay.
So that's the common theme which runs throughout.
Okay, so I had a couple of questions, not actually a couple of questions, very many questions after reading the book. So if you are ready, I'll start asking the questions to you now.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah.
So my first question to you is about the book, your book, which is Love Beyond Love, which I mentioned earlier, is a poetry collection. Can you tell us what else have you explored besides poetry as a writer?
Okay, so my journey as a writer, it started uh, at the age of 16 when I wrote poetry when I was still in school. And actually, it began late. So for few people, it would begin at the age of 8, 12. So it was at 16. So here, the first thing I wrote about was regarding consciousness. The 3 states of consciousness, that is the sleeping, waking, and the dreaming states,
Hmm.
put together, which forms the sound Om, which is the manifestation of all sounds in the universe.
Oh,
So actually, that was just I just wrote 2 3 lines. Uh,
okay.
Yeah. And then, so thus began my journey. And after a few years, this thought came to my mind. That is, this thought troubled me a lot. That is, who am I?
Hmm.
What is my purpose of life on earth? And like, what happens to us after death? And actually, no, is there something called soul within us? So
Hmm.
all these questions, it troubled me. And also there is also one more interesting question, that is there something known as truth? So
Hmm.
does truth exist at all? So all these questions put together, it made me a writer.
Oh,
So my journey, it began when I wrote Quest for God. That is a novel where the central character, that is Meenakshi, is in search of uh, the true self or the real self. And then you have poems on the eternal God, which deals with the search for God or the search for eternity, wherein you have the numbers, the
Hmm.
concept of numbers. That is, you have the four Vedas, and then the concept of five, the concept of eight, which is linked to Trinity,
Hmm.
32 chromosomes, 64 art forms, and how it is linked to poetry and how it is linked to your soul. And then the third is completely a different one, wherein I wrote about postmodernism. So postmodernism, it is a result of my 4 years of research for my PhD. So that's a different subject altogether. And you have black. So in black, I have explored the various colors. So
Oh,
which
okay.
can be related to your chakras. So you have the root chakra, which is beginning from Lam, and then you have then the most close to my heart is Lam, which is the heart chakra. Then you have Hum. So if a
Hmm.
person is like, he is very emotional, then his heart chakra is
Hmm.
stimulated a lot. And then when the person is speaking a lot, it means that your throat chakra has stimulated a lot. And then you have this and finally Om, which is considered to be the manifestation of the entire universe. So here I have spoken about black because there is no mention of black anywhere. So when you at the time when you speak about black, it represents darkness.
Hmm.
It represents the other side of whatever is colorful, whatever is bright, whatever is truth, joy, happiness. So here in science also we refer to as black holes. So
Hmm.
black holes which glutton everything in the universe and still it remains the same. So here my fourth book, that is Black, A Tale of Unfinished Stories, it deals with the concept of birth, death, rebirth, and like lot of superstitious elements, supernatural elements, and especially the concept of rebirth. And then you have the latest book, that is Love Beyond Love. Love Beyond Love, it has won many prizes, including second prize as runner in Coimbatore Literary Awards 2020 in the category of poetry, and also special mention in Cherry Book Awards, and many more. And so here I have portrayed the theme of who am I.
Hmm.
You have the theme of feminism. You have the theme of the place of relationship
Hmm.
as human beings. You have the theme of space. You have the theme of the very spiritual essence, and also your relationship or your connection to nature. So here, the first theme is like love is portrayed
Hmm.
in the form of a battle between mind and heart. That is, like, I would just like to quote a few lines from the poem.
Sure, sure, of
Uh,
course.
yeah. So here, the thoughts scattered around me. The thoughts scattered around me like an unending figment of phoenix ash. I trying to forget, and those relishing to conquer me. Who won? Asked the mind. Whoever won, the defeater's mind, replied the heart. So here the poem is between like sort of battle between mind and heart.
And then,
The heart loses in all its stratas.
hmm.
And this is the first poem which actually I wrote when I began my writing career. This one goes this. Lost in the vagaries of love, I woke up to find my dream shattered, never to be repaired in the realm of consciousness. So here, love is consciousness and consciousness is love. And one more, last one, which is very close to my heart, it is about silence. The world's greatest happiness lies in silence. The world's greatest happiness lies in silence, for silence engraves a vicious circle of past, present, and future. So, this is all regarding my latest book. And there is also representation of space here, like the number 8, which is very close to my heart because it represents the history of all universes in its infinity. So I have also mentioned that particular theory, the 10 dimension, or what you call the final dimension, wherein we arrive, where everything is possible and imaginable is covered. So beyond this, nothing can be covered. And you have all like the number 10, which is the combination of binary 0, like either you're Shunya or you're 1. So this is regarding my literary journey, beginning from my book 1 to book 5.
Oh, that's a very interesting and very varied journey. I must say you have explored a lot of genres, and your knowledge about whatever your spiritual journey you have put into words in the form of books, which is really commendable. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So my next question to you is, you have mentioned that you are an associate professor. So I want to ask you, you also have a PhD in literature. So does that help in your writing? And how much do you believe that, tell the viewers if you believe that writing requires such a literature background?
No, writing doesn't require any literature background. You have to write from the...
Definitely helps, right? It aids.
Yeah.
It's a helping tool.
Yeah, like of course, having a degree in PhD, your language would be correct. Like you will not have any grammatical mistakes, but that doesn't guarantee you that you can become a writer. So in order to become a writer, so in order to become a writer, you have to put your deepest passions and emotions into pen in the form of writing. So for some, say nature, they derive inspiration from nature. For some, it is like from their friends, from their day-to-day experiences, and for some it is regarding philosophy, or for some like it is love. So here, there was a turning point in my life wherein my mother tongue is Tamil. So I read a book in Tamil, that is Siddhargal in Valipada, which speaks about the momentum and non-momentum of atoms. So they have like those people, that is the seers. They are seers of wisdom. So they have put life in 2 words, that is momentum of atoms and non-momentum of atoms. So that changed my life forever. So I was thinking, like, what am I doing? Like, no, this is the ultimate truth. So I have to do something worthy in my life, and something which would really change everyone's life. So that's how it is all about. And writing doesn't need any degree, like even a PhD degree or even a BSc degree. All you have to do is you have to write from your heart. How to put for sometimes I feel that like all the like say 26 letters of the English alphabet is not enough to portray my experience. So sometimes there's a sort of what you call a writer's block, but you can experience, you can put yourself through the eyes of the experiencer, and then come out of this. So here, like whenever like I feel like I'm lost, so I just like believe, like I just read a few lines from the Buddha Sutra, that is, I am neither the body nor the mind, I am neither the senses nor the duality, I am neither the experienced nor the experience, I am neither the form nor the attributes, I am neither in bondage nor liberated. For finally, I am just the eternal bliss, what you call as Sachidanand. So this is how, spirituality, Vedas, and Upanishads has influenced me a lot in order to become a writer. And writing is also a sort of spiritual journey, a journey which is deep within, and you have to realize that hidden potential within you in order to become a good writer.
True, true. So that was a very well thought out answer, I believe, and I do believe that in order to become something professionally, you do not need to have a degree per se in that field. In whatever field, it's not just about writing. In whatever field we are working, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have a degree in that. Your experience is your best teacher. That's what I feel, and that the same goes for writing as well. So my next question to you is, you all again, I'm mentioning your other profession again and again because I am very fascinated by how people manage so many things together. So my next question is, how do you balance between teaching and writing? Tell us your top 2 tips about balancing different professions.
Yeah, it's nothing so great. Like you have to manage time properly. That's it. So it's all about time management and how well you manage the 24 hours that you have in your day and how well you distribute it to the various parts. Like, for example, my teaching, it begins around 10 a.m. and it ends at 4. And I woke up early and then I do yoga and meditation and then I write for 2 hours daily. So this is, this has been my practice throughout. And the next thing is you have to be passionate about whatever you do. So like for me, like poetry is passion. So whenever I am in mood to write poetry, I just jot it down. Like sometimes you get your thoughts, okay, when you're teaching also, but you can't write down there. So after some time I would write it down.
Okay. Then my next question is, how and when did you decide to go into publishing? So what has been your most important lesson as a published author?
Publishing has been difficult for me when I began initially as an author, because you're fresh and you have a lot of new ideas and you don't know whom to approach and where to go. But all this process, it became easy when I published my 3rd book, 4th book, and 5th book. So therein I knew, I as Vijay Lakshmi was different there, and I as Vijay Lakshmi is different now. So lot of difference, and there is lot of time gone and lot of experience which I have gathered in the process of publishing. So I have also I also believe that I have become more mature in my writings compared to others.
That's a great progress to have, because I myself, when I go back to my writing, which I did about even something I wrote a year ago surprises me today, because even within the span of 1 year, so much self growth has happened that you go back and wonder why and how did I write this. So my last question to you is, give us your top 3 writing tips, because writing, it just cannot happen because it's a learning experience. So tell us your top 3 writing tips which you have been able to learn so far.
Yeah, my top 3 writing tips would be: first, in order to become a good writer, you have to be a good reader. Second thing, never ever lose your hope. Hope is the one thing which can move which could work miracles, which can move mountains. So never give up your hope. And third thing is you have to be persistent and to be in whatever you do. So it should be a sort of daily practice.
Yes, writing should consistency is very important. Okay, so I'm done with my boring routine questions now. I'm going to ask some fun rapid fire questions now.
yeah.
Because we are losing audience also, no? We have to take care of that also. So my first rapid fire question to you, just a second. I had kept the questions open, but my laptop is not behaving well. Okay, just a minute. Give me a few minutes. Till then, if anyone in the audience or whoever is watching, do you have any questions? Me and Vijay Lakshmi, we will be both happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm trying to get my laptop to behave because I have the rapid fire questions open on them.
Or we can have it rapid fire questions at the end. Let us begin
Let's
with
do
your.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
You can start asking your questions for me.
Yes. So first of all, I would like to ask, tell us about your literary journey.
My literary journey actually began very late because I do not have a literature background. I am a commerce student. I did my BBA and then I did my MBA. By the time I started my first job, I realized that I was not cut out for the corporate rat race. A 9 to 5 job was not for me. At least a management job in a 9 to 5 position was not for me. Thankfully, the jobs that I did after my MBA, they gave me an opportunity to write on some platform or the other. I was doing content writing on various platforms, online and offline. So that gave me the idea that writing is what I'm meant to be doing for the rest of my life. So I quit the jobs and I started doing freelance writing from 2017, and I have been doing freelance writing and blogging since then. And once the regular work of writing started coming in, I thought of exploring more arenas of writing, and that's how publishing also happened. That's how I became an author. And since then, it has been an upward growth. I have 3 solo books and 2 co-authored books so far, and hopefully many more to come.
Definitely. What is the advice that you want to give to your younger self as Manali? Yeah.
I would like to go back to my teenage and tell my teenage self that don't give up on your love for reading. Focus on that. Make that your focus, and you might not have to waste your 20s, early 20s, in trying to figure out what you want to do professionally.
That's interesting. And what are the various themes that are portrayed in your book?
Most of my poetry and my short stories are based on very very slice of life stories, and if you might have noticed, they are very relatable writings. So that's one defining factor I see in my writing. And other than that, I explore various themes, like there's in the recent book I have explored so many new themes that I never imagined myself writing on. There's horror, there is thriller, there is romance, and I am hoping that I will venture into even more new genres in the future, in the coming days.
Great. So, did you face any writer's block while writing your stories or poems or a novel, and how did you overcome it?
For writer's block for me is a choice. It's not that I cannot write. It's not. It's just that I don't want to write. And how I overcome is I engage in whatever activity which can propel me towards writing, which is probably reading or watching a movie or a web series, because doing anything creative leads me towards writing.
Okay. So, what are your future plans and any message that you would like to give to budding authors?
The future plan is to continue writing, blogging as well as publishing, both hand in hand. And besides that, one important message that I want to give out to everyone is that focus on the things that make you happy. That is something which I lacked doing in my teenage, and I was very affected by what people around me told me to do. Don't focus on what people tell you to do. Listen to your heart and listen to whatever brings you happiness. That will lead you towards something which can not only make you happy but also bring you the money. That has to be there has to be a balance between what is happiness for you, and whether that happiness is also giving you some economic returns.
So let us begin with the rapid fire round.
Unfortunately, my laptop is still not working, so I'm just going to shoot random questions at you.
No problem, no problem. So, which one do you prefer, prose or
Okay, I
poetry?
remember a few questions. I think first was a novel or poetry book.
Of course, poetry.
Okay. And I do not remember the next question, but I'm just going to ask randomly now.
Yeah, no
Uh,
problem. No. Yeah,
uh, okay, so coffee or tea, and why?
tea, tea,
Why?
tea. Like, I don't know, like being a South Indian, like I'm obsessed with tea.
Okay, okay. I think we are going to get a lot of raised eyebrows on that response. But
No, you like you cannot describe the taste of, right? Only a tea lover can feel that.
okay. So thanks to my laptop shutting down, I'm going to come up with very, very weird questions now. Would you rather cook at home or would you rather order something?
I prefer, like most of the time I cook at home, but sometimes I order. Like when it
Depending,
becomes like
does
part
that
of the
depend on what day of the week it is? For me, it is what day
life.
of the week it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I remember one very controversial kind of question that I had put in the list, which was, who's an author that whose work you like but you do not like that person? You know, as a person, you don't like them.
No, actually, like when it comes to writing, it should not. We should not have any personal opinion or personal bias. Like there is no such one. But the author I like the most is Rumi, the poetry of Rumi.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, no, no. That's like I can't even comment on that. That's that kind
Yeah,
of an answer. Who doesn't like
and
Rumi?
and it's like Rumi, the philosopher, he speaks about uh, love not from mind or from heart, but love from your soul. So that is what which connects with the concept of light and the concept of philosophy and spirituality also. And he beautifully describes the wound is the place where light can enter. So like one should not be like worried about all the failures or whatever bad has happened in our life. All that is just a lesson in order to make us strong, in order to make us mature. So I'm just moved by it and touched by it.
I remember my last question because that's a common question I ask to all my guests, which is top three book recommendations.
So for me, it is the Bhagavad Gita, Vedas, and Upanishads.
All spiritual books, which is wow. I don't think I
Yeah,
have had a guest who recommended these books. So thank you.
thank you. So now let me begin my rapid fire
Yes,
questions for you.
yes, yes.
So prose or poetry?
Prose as a reader, poetry as a writer.
Spirituality or love?
Love.
The book you loved the most?
That's a very difficult question to answer for someone who reads books regularly. Oh God.
Yeah.
But one book that I remember very and which is very dear to me is because it was the first book I read, which is Black Beauty, and I think I was 6 or 7 years old, and that was what got me into reading. So I'm going to say Black Beauty.
And the author you like the most?
There's no particular author that I like the most, but somebody I really admire is Arundhati Roy.
Great. And last one, what is your top three book recommendations?
So I am going to check out Black Beauty because I've already said that. Besides that, the three books that I always recommend to everyone is Godfather by Mario Puzo,
Mm,
Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera, and
mm.
uh, there is also recently I have started recommending Shantaram also to people because I don't think in the recent times I've read a lot of books which talk about Bombay, but the way Shantaram has described Bombay, I don't think many books have done that. Besides maybe Midnight's Children. So both of them, Shantaram and Midnight's Children.
Great, great book recommendations.
Thank you. So I think it became fun because my laptop shut down and I had to ask a lot of on the spot questions. But I hope you had fun joining me in the conversation today, and whoever was able to join us today, thank you for joining in. And whoever was not able to join or missed out on this, the video will be uploaded on my IGTV and on my YouTube channel. You can go back and have a look at it. You can skip the initial part and just go and have a look at the rapid fire round, because that was a lot of fun. So, Jayalakshmi, thank you again for joining. And since it is already, I believe, 9:30 for you, so I'm going to wish you a good night.
Yeah, and Ms. Manali Desai, a very big thank you to you for the wonderful session.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Bye, Vijayalakshmi.